You've heard of Zeus, the lightning-throwing king of the gods, right? The powerful ruler of Mount Olympus. Yeah, well, he also had the emotional maturity of a teenager with a trust fund and zero self-control. Hey everyone, tonight we're diving into the real Greek myths your school textbook politely skipped, the messy, bizarre, occasionally horrifying ones that prove ancient Greece was basically a cosmic reality show. Before you get too cozy, hit that like button if you love stories that make you question everything you thought you knew about mythology, and let me know in the comments which Greek god you'd never invite to dinner. Now, dim the lights, pour yourself some ambrosia, or, tea, and let's slip into the madness of Mount Olympus. You wake up not in modern Athens, but in ancient Greece. The air smells like olive oil, smoke, and questionable heroism. People are shouting in the marketplace about philosophy while someone in the background is wrestling an actual goat. You wander through the chaos thinking, wow, this is civilization. But the real action isn't in the agora, it's up on Olympus. Imagine this, the gods are eternal, powerful, and supposedly wise. Except they spend most of their time fighting, flirting, and transforming into animals for reasons. Take Zeus. This guy could turn into anything. A swan, a bull, even a golden shower, and yes, that's exactly as weird as it sounds. He once turned into a swan just to seduce a mortal woman named Leda. Romantic? No. Terrifying? Absolutely. Then there's Hera, queen of the gods, patron of marriage, and the ancient world's queen of passive aggression. Her entire life mission was to get revenge on Zeus's lovers and their unfortunate offspring. Imagine trying to live your mortal life, and boom, you're suddenly cursed with snakes, madness, or turned into a cow. Why? Because the king of gods couldn't keep it in his toga. And if you think the drama ends there, wait until you hear about Apollo, god of the sun, music, and making terrible relationship choices. He once tried to win over a woman named Daphne, who was so terrified of him that she begged her father, a river god, to help. His solution? He turned her into a tree. That's right, Apollo's big romantic moment ended with him hugging bark. And speaking of questionable decisions, let's talk about Narcissus, the guy who literally fell in love with his own reflection. He stared into a pond for so long, he wasted away and became a flower. Ancient Greek moral? Maybe don't be vain. Modern moral? Maybe step away from your selfie camera. But the weirdest part of all is how normal this was for the Greeks. Their myths weren't bedtime stories, they were soap operas mixed with horror films and philosophy lectures. These tales explained nature, love, death, and why the gods acted like drunk uncles at a wedding. Even their heroes were a mess. Hercules, for example, was strong enough to wrestle lions but not smart enough to avoid trouble. Half his story is just him cleaning up the gods' messes while suffering divine punishment for things that weren't even his fault. And poor Prometheus. He gave humans fire, civilization's greatest gift, and Zeus rewarded him by chaining him to a rock where an eagle ate his liver every day. Every single day. And it grew back nightly for the next day's snack. That's not mythic justice, that's ancient Greek torture fanfiction. But for all their chaos, the Greeks understood something deep. Life was tragic, beautiful, and absurd all at once. Their myths weren't meant to comfort, they were meant to make you think, laugh, and shudder. These stories said, yeah, the gods are flawed, but so are we. And maybe that's the point. So, if you ever find yourself dozing off while someone recites a boring Greek myth, remember, somewhere in the tale is a swan, a tree, or a guy who fell in love with his own face. Not boring. Just disturbingly human. So, which Greek myth do you think is the weirdest? Drop it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this strange little trip through Olympus, hit subscribe, because next time, we're uncovering the myths that never made it into the history books. Spoiler, some of them involve talking body parts. Sweet dreams, if you can manage them after this.